And that race is the Republican primary for the U.S. Senate. 3 men hope to unseat Senator Joe Donnelly in what has become a bitter and costly battle. The polls open in just about 12 hours. RTV6 State House reporter Katie Hines is live at the Marion County Election Services Center, where the staff is preparing for tomorrow's primary election. Katie?
Erica, you can see some of those staff members behind us. Within this fence is where the absentee ballots will be counted, and all 3 candidates are hoping the turnout here in Marion County and across the state is high. We can tell you this Republican primary has been competitive, as you said, costly, one that's been centered more on personal attacks than policy. A line of last-minute early voters stretched out the door of the Marion County Clerk's office this morning as voters prepare to make key decisions. There you go. The candidates for the U.S. Senate are crisscrossing the state to make a final pitch. Former state representative Mike Braun is meeting with employees on a lunch break in Carmel. He says the mudslinging in the campaign is regrettable.
I'm going to be talking about things and wish we had more time to do it, about how we solve the health care issue, high costs. What do we do when we repeal Obamacare? What are we going to replace it with?
Representative Todd Rokita is rallying supporters at his Indianapolis campaign office, telling reporters he's confident undecided voters will side with him.
They're coming home to a guy who's pro-life 100%, who is A-rated by the NRA, who truly understands the meaning of the Second Amendment.
Congressman Luke Messer is talking to voters at a diner in Evansville. He says he's sticking to the same message he's had throughout the campaign.
I am who I say I am. I'm a pro-life, pro-Second Amendment conservative who supports President Trump. And our campaign has stayed laser focused on the truth. I think that's our biggest advantage.
The Republican candidates have spent $10.2 million on the race. All 3 are trying to align themselves with the president and his agenda. UND Assistant Professor of Political Science, Dr. Laura Wilson, says the negative tone of the race could bring voters to the polls.
The fact that we've had such an exciting and albeit vicious Senate race for the Republicans means we may have higher turnout for that race alone.
Senator Joe Donnelly isn't commenting on the candidates who want his job. He's unopposed in the Democratic primary, but setting his sights on November.
I've just focused on my job. I've always said, from when I had the privilege to serve in the 2nd Congressional District, that the best political campaign is to try to do your job the very best you can.
As for what's at stake in this race, it depends on which voter you ask. Anything from safety to the economy. Nationally, Indiana's race could determine which party controls the Senate. Reporting live tonight, Katie Hines, RTV6.
Thousands of Hoosiers took advantage of casting their ballots early. That opportunity ended at noon today. In Marion County, more than 4,400 people voted early at the City County building. That's 44% higher than in 2014 and 2010. 2016 was a presidential primary, so it is not included in the comparison.